Within a politically polarized internet, how does one find content that doesn't have an obvious bias or agenda? One way is by watching two people who disagree on something sit down and have a civil conversation, which is exactly why Blogging Heads TV is featured in our first ever YouTube channel Spotlight. I'm your host, B.A. Jarvis, and you are watching The Golden Door. Alright, we're back. So, with all of the content screaming for the attention of your eyes and ears, how do you decide what is worth your time and what isn't? Fear not, weary traveler, for you've come to the right place. So in my first video, which although is only 2 weeks old, I can already look back on and cringe, I set out a few things I wanted to accomplish with the channel. The first was media reviews, and I've published a few of those now and will continue to do so, even if I am the only one who is currently watching them. The second was to offer a critical take on mainstream media, and I feel like this has been accomplished on at least a few of my videos at this point. The third was to highlight great sources which I believe can broaden perspectives and perhaps lead to a more enlightened worldview. And on this front, I haven't done a great job so far. So in order to remedy this, I want to draw your attention to a really great YouTube channel named Blogging Heads TV. Now, Blogging Heads is not just a YouTube channel, it's also a website. Founded in 2005 by journalists Robert Wright and Mickey Koss, the website and corresponding YouTube page features split-screen dialogues about politics, science, philosophy, and culture. It's above all a discussion platform, with participants taking part in an active back-and-forth conversation, and those with differing viewpoints are often matched against one another. Most of the early videos featured are of the two founders, but the platform has grown to host over 1,000 journalists, academics, scientists, and authors, from the relatively well-known to the relatively obscure, as contributors. The channel currently features nearly 3,500 videos, ensuring you could effectively spend the rest of your life there. And while I can't personally attest to the quality of 99% of the content, I'd like to highlight 3 of the podcasts featured fairly regularly. The first I want to mention is called The Glenn Show, hosted by Professor Glenn Loury. Dr. Loury has had a pioneering career in academia, becoming the first black tenured professor of economics in the history of Harvard University in 1982 at the age of 33. In 1987, he nearly served as the Undersecretary of Education in the Reagan administration before withdrawing himself from consideration due to an assault and possession charge. After what has been described as a period of self-reflection and seclusion, he re-emerged a born-again Christian, leaving Harvard in '91 to teach at Boston University as the head of the Institute of Race and Social Division. In 2005, Loury joined the faculty of Brown University as a professor in the economics department and as a research associate on the Population Studies and Training Center, and continues to teach there to this day. He specializes in macroeconomic theory, warfare economics, game theory, industrial organization, and the economics of income distribution. The Glenn Show was the first podcast to attract me to Blogging Heads after watching a couple of really engaging conversations between Loury and John McWhorter, professor of English and Comparative Literature at Columbia University, popular writer for many mainstream publications, and occasional guest on CNN. These conversations are often among the most watched videos on the channel, and the currently featured dialogue, Talking Ta-Nehisi Coates, which of course sounds like a 1960s Bob Dylan song, is a great example of their engaging conversational style. The second show I want to mention is called Feminine Chaos, featuring Kat Rosenfield and fellow Canadian Phoebe Maltz-Bovey. Rosenfield is a freelance pop culture writer and author of 2 young adult novels, Amelia Ann is Dead and Gone in 2012 and Inland in 2014. Maltz-Bovey is also a freelance writer and author of 2017's nonfiction book, The Perils of Privilege: How One Word Shuts Down Every Conversation About Injustice. I've only seen a few conversations between these two, but from what I've watched, it offers an interesting female perspective on current events and the use of social media in particular. Finally, I want to mention the website founder Robert Wright's regular podcast, The Wright Show, where he engages in a wide range of topics with a wide range of guests, and from the few I've seen, which focus primarily on religion and politics, they are definitely worth your time to check out, and I would encourage you to do so. What I really appreciate about this channel is these conversations feel genuine and that the participants are making an honest effort to challenge each other's ideas as well as further their own understanding on the topics at hand, something seriously lacking in a lot of content. It really showcases the value of a dialogue, especially with someone who is outside of your personal echo chamber that we all consciously or subconsciously create with our clicks, likes, follows, and subscribes. So many times what we see is either a preaching to the converted, an attempt to indoctrinate the uninformed, or assertions that leave no space for rebuttal. While I'm sure the potential audience is not too far from the minds of the contributors, it's clear that they are not primarily talking to them. They are talking to each other, and in doing so, testing their ideas in a friendly environment. So yes, it's almost criminal that this amazing channel only has 10,000 YouTube subscribers so far, which was the main reason I chose it to be the first featured channel on the Golden Door. Alright, so to make this endorsement official, let's go ahead and officially subscribe. And adding featured channel. Done! There we go. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. If you're a fan of Blogging Heads TV, let me know what your favorite podcast is in the comment section below. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, this has been The Golden Door.